Between aging and busy lifestyles, many women struggle with maintaining their physical and mental wellness. At Aquavita Concierge Healthcare Services for Women, we can help you revitalize your health and reclaim your life. We start from within by balancing your hormones, allowing your body to achieve and maintain desired weight goals. We also specialize in peptide therapies, regenerative medicine, sexual health, and aesthetics in our state-of-the-art facilities. Feel better, look better, live better at Aquavita. Visit aquavitality.com and begin your journey today.
I will attempt to formulate a strong scientific theory behind this ongoing mass psychological phenomenon of alien-related self-deception.
This is the famous ET Highway. That is Area 51.
So what? A UFO then?
Yes, a UFO then.
I saw something right there. Right there. I'm not staying here alone.
That can't be the same girl. Wait,
let me check. This is not right. There's no way you saw him.
He was
He's over there. Too many unexplainable things have happened on this trip.
Should we be filming this?
We don't feel safe here anymore.
From ET Connections on YouTube and mountain-gate.com.
And you're listening to the Alien Strand podcast with Donald Ledesma.
Catch us on YouTube and hit like and subscribe. We'll see you there.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Alien Strand podcast. I'm your host, Donald Ledesma, and today we're going to do something special. I have a special guest with me. His name is Chris Wax, and he did the movie Case 347. He's a director, producer of it, and he comes out in the film as well. But before we get into that, I just want to thank everybody for listening to Alien Strand podcast and just sharing the news and sharing it all over the place and just kind of telling everybody about Alien Strand. I really, really do appreciate that. And, you can catch us on Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, Instagram, and on YouTube. We have a small little channel there. Check that out. We have a couple little promos going. Alien Strand 1 and 2 is out. Working on Alien Strand 3 promo. That's going to be the final one. That's going to be ready here soon. If you want to, you can give us a phone call if you want to be a guest on the show at 245-8000. Again, that's 361-245-8000. You got a movie, a book, you want to talk about an alien abduction, you've seen anything up there, you've been catching a lot of anomalies in the sky, give me a call. You have some good photos, some good intel, call me and then we'll set something up for you, okay? So like I said, I really do appreciate you guys listening to Alien Strand and just being out there for us and just lately, I've been just putting out a lot of good stuff there on Facebook. So if you go back to the Facebook app, you'll see that there's going to be a lot of people out there that been kind of seeing these strange cloud formations, especially in Canada. There's two of them out there that the friends sent me, and I checked that out, and I sent that to them, and gave them we went back and forth on the photos and what we thought they were. But before we get into that, like I said, I just want to welcome everybody. Thank you for being here. And like I said, we're going to be this is a live broadcast, and I just want you guys to interact with me. If you want to, you can chat with me while I'm talking to Chris, maybe ask him some questions, and then we'll go from there. All right. So, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and bring Chris in on the phone. So let's go ahead and get him on the line right now. So on the phone now we have Chris Wax. He's a movie director of Case 347. You on the phone there, brother?
I am, Don. Thanks for having me. How you doing?
Pretty good. So you guys, you got in touch with me, and I ended up watching this movie that you had made and directed before it came out on March 3rd. And when I saw it, I really enjoyed it, because it had a lot of good things in there as far as the aliens, Area 51, the Alien Highway that's out there. So can you kind of elaborate on the movie a little bit, and let's talk about yourself, and let's just get going from there. So how did you get started in making this movie?
Well, for first off, I really appreciate you taking a look at the movie. As you said, you got to screen it and everything, and get a little feel of the flavor of the movie before everybody else. So I appreciate you taking the time and having me on. I'm glad you liked it.
Oh yes.
I've spent my entire life studying art. I was an art major in high school. I grew up in New York. I was an art major in high school. I went to art school after that, SUNY Purchase College, and then I went to School of Visual Art after that in New York, and then I studied with William Esper, which is a performing arts school, for 3 years. So I spent the majority of my life studying art.
Nice.
Moved out to LA. I had the opportunity to come out here and kind of do the typical Hollywood story, which is, sleeping on somebody's dining room floor for 4 months. A guy that I went to school with in New York that was originally from LA, he came out and kind of said, "Hey, you got to come out here. This is the place to be." And I've just been out here plugging away for 14 years. I did a few short films. I did a short film called Irish Eyes.
Right.
I believe in 2010, I did another short film. These are both $30,000 films, shorts. I did another short called The Faithful. They both did really well at festivals and were really, well received, but didn't really do much for me as far as how to monetize, how to become a professional at what you're doing and what you're creating.
Right.
And then I did a web series, kind of the same results. It won some awards, and again got a little attention my way. But again, like I was saying, it's not paying the bills. You're just making art for fun. And I spent the last 10 years in television development as well. I had projects with Warner Brothers, I had a project with Sony Television, and none of those things ever saw the light of day. So kind of out of a little bit of frustration of just not seeing projects get greenlit and not having anything to point to and say, "Hey, yeah, I wrote this or I directed this."
Right.
I decided to start my own production company and
Nice.
finance my own film. Yeah.
Right.
So I just got together with a few people and people that I've been working with over the course of the time that I've been in LA, which is 10 years of working in independent film, and was able to just call people up. Maya Stallion is the star of the film, and she was one of my first calls. Maya was the star of one of my short films 10 years ago before she was famous, before she was on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and before
Right.
she was on Castle, before she had these big films.
Well,
she has a big film coming out on Netflix right now.
Yeah.
With Nia Long. I mean, so she's like the right caliber of famous, where she can lend her name to something, but she still can get away with not having the recognizability of like a Brad Pitt or something. So it would take the audience out, of the idea that we're doing a found footage film.
Right.
And
right.
Maya signed on and said, she loved the concept and was
Nice.
willing to work with what we were able to pay. And
well, I tell you what,
even though we're a SAG film. Go ahead. I'm sorry, John.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. When I saw her character in the film, she actually pulls me in the film. You know what I mean? As I'm sitting there
absolutely.
watching it, and of course, she's the main character, correct? So she's pulling me in as the way she's speaking and the way she's talking, and how she's bringing you to the story, and that really got my attention right away from the very beginning, from the very opening scene, and then from the next scene when you see her in the room. But I mean, I'm not going to give too much away, but I'm just saying that she was a great pick for that role right there. You did a good job.
And she's a great actress. She's a great human being, and she's not terrible to look at.
No,
so it's a nice combination.
Not at all. Very pretty woman, very, very beautiful woman. Yeah. So I saw you have. Okay, you got a pretty good little cast on there as well. Richard Gillian. I remember seeing him on Airplane. I saw him on Airplane back in the day. Yeah, and he did a big sci-fi movie back in the day as well. And he's Gene Smart's husband. If anybody, I mean, again, this is all because of their age. Gene Smart was one of the designing women, and she just had a really big boost in her career a couple of years back because she was the matriarch lead character in the Fargo series, season 2. Yes.
So that's Richard is Gene's wife, and he was the lead of a sci-fi movie in the 80s as well. He's a great actor.
Oh yeah. As soon as I saw him pop out, towards the middle of the film, I was like, "Wow, I remember him." And man, he does a great job too. As far as the film itself, okay, how did you get into the concept of doing this kind of story?
Well, it's funny. A television executive had told me that they were looking for a concept that would have been in the 1940s and possibly surrounding Roswell. And this is before Project Blue Book came out, the series.
Right.
And so I was just doing a ton of research. I've always loved sci-fi. Sci-fi is one of my favorite genres. I'm a big sci-fi fantasy person. I like, seeing E.T. as a kid might have been one of the things that inspired me the most to be in this field in the first place. I just love to be able to watch something that either suspends your belief or expands your mind or lets you just escape for a couple hours while you're enjoying the ride that someone's created.
Exactly.
And through the research of Area 51 and all of the other lore that surrounds these things that kind of started around that era, whether it's the Hill abductions, which is obviously one of the more famous, more prominent and earliest abduction cases. From that stuff on, it just keeps going. It's really it's a Pandora's box. Once you start peeling off a layer of the onion, it just goes deeper and deeper and deeper, and it's easy to lose yourself in that. And I thought it was a lot of fun. If we were going to do a found footage film, I thought it would be a lot of fun to do it based on things that have actually been reported before, because that would make sense that footage has been captured.
Right, exactly. And in the UFO community, I mean, that's a lot of people. The first thing they're going to point to is going to be Area 51, right? S4. They're going to point in the New Mexico, the Roswell area. So everything that you put in the film is on point as far as the as the story in ufology goes as well too, and everybody kind of puts that together, and that's why it got my attention pretty well, because believe me, I am a sci-fi film person. I love to watch a lot of sci-fi movies, and I watch the big ones, of course, but I like the smaller ones too, because there's a lot of good smaller ones out there that really don't get recognition like they should, and so. And this one got my attention, not just because you brought it to me, but it was just something that caught my eye, and I sat there and grabbed me some popcorn, and let me tell you, I sat there and watched that whole thing, and it was great. So when you guys got into the story, putting it all together, were you guys there in New Mexico area, or how did you guys do that? Did you have to put a lot of things together just to try to get that concept in place, or did it take a while?
Yeah, I consulted some experts. A friend of mine is a guy named Stephen Bradford. He's actually writing a book on a lot of the things that have happened in the 90s. But he connected me to a lot of other guys, like Tracy Torme, who wrote Fire in the Sky.
Right.
Don Schmidt, who literally wrote the book on Roswell. And what was really interesting, in a lot of capacities, a lot of professional capacities in the world, if you tried to get into it, people they hold you back because it's kind of an elitist type of thing. Whether it be whatever, you pick a genre, most people they don't welcome newcomers with open arms.
Exactly.
The UFO community was the opposite. These people who have...
Wake up at Holiday Inn Express to a can't-miss breakfast that's free with every stay. Count on all the hot, fresh coffee you need and an incredible breakfast buffet that has something for everyone, like eggs, cinnamon rolls, and even hot, fresh pancakes with all the toppings you crave. Next time, do yourself a favor and stay at a Holiday Inn Express with a can't-miss breakfast that's free with every stay. So, when you wake up at Holiday Inn Express, you'll wake up happy. A part of IHG Hotels and Resorts.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Coincidence? I think not. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere, even at 30,000 feet. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
No purchase necessary. VGW. Void were prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
With the Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
This is your captain speaking. We've got clear runway and the weather's fine, but we're just going to circle up here a while and get lucky. No, nothing like that. It's just these cash prizes add up quick. So I suggest you sit back, keep your tray table upright, and start getting lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Have a huge stake in this and have launched their careers off of this arena because they're so passionate about it, because they love the topic so much. People have reached out to me that are massive names in this business, and I'm just baffled by it every time because they're so sweet, so welcoming, so loving, and so giving to the fact that that I made a movie in their genre, basically, Right.
Well, it's because the information is out there. Not a lot of people get to search for it, but when these guys do it, they do it so well. And then when you make a story about it, and it's based on a lot of course, like you said, a lot of things that have happened in the past and stuff. But they're very appreciative of that, especially like when it's almost like trying to open somebody's eyes a little bit. You got to be open minded, man. That's just the way it is. Just to get into ufology, UFOs, and stuff like that, and especially in movies, You gotta be open minded a little bit just to try to grasp the concept of everything. But let me tell you, you did a great job on that film, and you come out in this film, correct?
What's that?
You come out in this film? Do you?
As far as being in front of the camera, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm in there as well. Yeah.
Yeah, you play Charlie, correct?
Yeah, exactly. I'm handling the camera most of the time, so it was kind of a tricky, in the script process, it was really a tricky choice to try to make of how to handle that. How to be able to direct the film from a found footage perspective and not be in it. And so that was the choice that I made. I thought it would probably serve the story best and play as real as possible if I the cameraman were present in it as well.
Right. No, you did a great job too in it. It's just when you start watching the film, everybody just kind of pulls you in different directions. Like, hey, come and see what's happening here, see what's happening here, and then it kind of all goes together. It's the part of the over there in White Sands. Did y'all hit in that direction too to do some filming in that area?
Yeah, we were really out there pretty deep in the deserts for all these shots. It was actually my parents were just out for the premiere this week. We had the premiere at the Chinese Theater.
Nice.
And, right here in Hollywood, and my family came across the country for it. And, they didn't really see behind the scenes or anything, and they haven't really seen, they hadn't seen the film. I thought I had sent them an earlier version, but they told me after the film they hadn't seen it yet. So they were, they were like, oh, it was great. We loved it. And they were asking me questions about it. So I said, yeah, at this one, we're going to be talking to your audience that hasn't seen the film yet. But in that camping scene in White Sands, we were 1 hour away from the nearest from the nearest gas station. So if anything went wrong that day, you have actors, and we were actually a really, really small crew, so thankfully. But if anything were to happen to anyone while we're out there, and we're out there for a long day of shooting.
Wow. It looks pretty dark.
Really, really far out.
Yeah, it looked dark out there. I mean, when y'all were shooting, I was looking at the shots. I was like, wow, you can almost not see behind the tent. You know what I mean? Because it's like so dark out there.
Dark. Yeah.
Let me ask you this question. It's just for my personal. I'm kind of intrigued about it. Did you guys, when you guys were filming out there at night, or filming during the day, or just, did you guys experience anything out of the ordinary on anything as far as like, did you guys get to see anything? Because, there's been a lot of stuff up there in the skies, that pop out every once in a while. So did you guys get to experience anything like that?
Before we even started shooting, I was writing this film. I was writing the scene. Again, your audience isn't going to have a reference, so I'll try not to spoil. But there's something, we see something on the side of the road. I'll just say that, right? In the film. While I was writing that scene, someone showed up at my front door at 3 o'clock in the morning in Hollywood, in my house. And it was a hot night. I just had the screen door shut. And I pace around sometimes. My office is in the back of the house, and it's just a flat one-story house. So you could see kind of through the whole thing like a bowling alley if you're on one end.
Wow!
And like a bowling lane, And in the middle of the night, I have one of those lights that goes on the front porch if somebody stands there. But if you're there for more than a few minutes, it'll go back off.
Right.
So I'm pacing around, kind of working out this scene, and sometimes I'll stand up and walk around and talk to myself a little bit as I'm writing. And I stood up and I'm walking around and I look up and I see a shadow so close to my door that their nose would have had to have been touching the screen door.
Oh, wow.
And the light is out, which means that person's been standing there for minutes. And I finally looked up and said, hello.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to figure out who it was. I thought one of my buddies was is a cop in this area for LAPD. I had just moved into this house. I thought, well, maybe he's checking on me. That wouldn't be. I'm always telling everybody stop over for coffee anytime you want. Maybe at 3 o'clock in the morning, this guy decided to take me up on it.
Right.
I look up and there's this figure there, and I said hello, and they whisper, "I wanted to thank you," but it was so unaudible that I could hardly hear what they were saying. So I said, what? One more time said, "I wanted to thank you." It was this whisper, "I wanted to thank you."
Oh,
and I'm like, what?
Oh, hell.
So the hair on my arm stands up. My whole, every hair on my body stands up, and I just think there's something really wrong here. So I ducked out to call 911.
Wow.
And by the time I'm talking to the police, they're gone. And then I look back, and I wrote this into the movie. You'll know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I look back, they're gone. And I walk to the front of the house to try to figure out what's happening. And now they're on the other side of the street, standing in the shadows between two cars.
Oh,
in
hell.
one split second.
Wow.
And I just, again, all the hair on my arm stands up. I'm like, what the hell is going on? So I start talking to 911 like a frantic person. I was like, you got to get over here, And I mean, Hollywood, they call it Holly weird. There's a lot of transients. There's a lot of weird stuff. People are not in their right minds walking around. So I'm guessing that's what happened. But I'll tell you, in the moment, while writing that scene and having that experience, it was pretty scary.
Wow. So, I mean, when you after you saw the scene, after you put it together, I mean, does it give you like a little bit of flashback?
yeah, it does.
Wow.
I always remember. I keep telling everybody that story because people, even the next day, because we use my house as a production office.
Nice.
Throughout production, throughout post, and everything else.
Right.
And so everybody was kind of freaked out for a while, even being at the house. You know?
And this was before you wrote the script?
This was before we were even finished. This was in the process of the script. Yeah.
Oh wow. Wow. Yeah, that is freaky.
While we were on set, we were just in these really remote locations, so you never wanted to. You never wanted to stray too far away from everybody. Right. You just don't want to. You don't want to be more than a few steps away from someone. It just got a little. And you know what? I completely forgot. While we're shooting this scene at White Sands, that camping scene, a group of people, but because it's so dead quiet out there, because it's so black, we started seeing and hearing people from so far away.
Really?
It was just a group of kids. I guess they were out hiking or something, and they got caught after dark, and they were kind of making their way down from one of the more mountainous areas. Right. And they just kind of passed us and said, "Hey, do you guys know where the parking area, where we might have left our cars?"
Oh,
and
wow.
we said, "Yeah, I think if you keep going down this sand path and make a left, it was, we saw some cars down there. I think that's where your cars are probably at." But it was another weird thing. We're saying, do you hear something?
Wow.
In the distance, you hear people talking. Because it's so far out in the desert.
Yeah.
That
Well,
was pretty weird.
You kind of put that concept in the movie as well, correct? I mean,
exactly.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, and that's great too, because there's a lot of stories on that. That's not very many, but there's a couple of podcasters out there that they do the ghost thing, and they talk about those the black-eyed kids. You know what I mean? And so that story's been out there for a bit, and there's one that's pretty creepy, but I need to get in touch with that journalist that it happened to him, like literally happened to him. So, and he tells the story over and over. I just need to grab his name again. A friend of mine told me, but I just don't have it at the top of my head. But no, I mean, like I said, that you guys got it on point. As far as putting the film together and the locations and then all these things that are happening when you're out there. So as far as the when you shot the close to the last scene, I don't want to put anything too much out there, but there was some more cast in the movie as well, and they did a really great job. And how was it that you cast them in the film as well? As far as the
as far as like who we picked for the film,
correct.
I think it was mostly, Maya is one of the executive producers of the film as well, and she was a partner on the project. And Maya knows a lot of actors in Hollywood, and we were able to just kind of ask favors. Like I said, it was a SAG film, which means it's a union film, so you still have to pay. There's minimums and stuff that you have to pay, just like any other union. Right, so even though we were a really, really small production financially, that was our biggest expenditure, was the actors that we brought on, because we wanted caliber people and SAG actors. So we just the people that we got were just Johnny Dowers from The Bridge, and
Gabriella,
and Krista Allen from Baywatch, who's an incredible actress.
Yes,
I just said Richard Gilliland and Michael Galante. Michael Galante is on two different series right now. Sean Cullen Young from season 3 of True Detective and on Deputy right now. It was just it was a great cast, and I think everybody honestly was more or less a Maya connection. Nice. I did know Gabriella Garcia, who's the other girl at the ranch.
Right, she did a good job.
I knew Gabby. She's a great job. Gabby was a friend of mine. Other than that, it was mostly Maya connections. Mostly people that Maya was reading the script and saying, "I know somebody for this part. I know somebody for this part. I know somebody for this part." And I was just kind of reaching out and
nice,
sending people the script, and people saying, "Yeah, I'm into it. I'm feeling it."
Nice. Yeah, I mean, you guys put it all together very well, and I mean, she did great, helping you out and getting the cast in there, and putting everybody in there. As far as the alien in the film, how did you get the concept for how it was going to look like, or how big it was going to be? Or
I had a little bit of a sketch in my mind. I kind of created a little bit of art for the project, and Jason Kropik was the person who wound up executing that. Jason, again, was the character that played Rex, and he was one of the executive producers as well, and did a lot of the editing and special effects on the first pass of the film.
Nice.
And we wanted something. Again, don't want to give too much away, spoiler here, but
right.
we wanted to give something that was some sort of payoff on the film without showing too much and without having to explain too much, and we wanted something that was a little elusive, but I also wanted something a little different. And honestly, the inspiration for the shape came from Close Encounters. One of the things you kind of see is a little longer, a little more gangly than you usually see.
Right.
And I always liked that because it does create a little bit of anxiety when something's not shaped right to me. Not proportionate. So we went with that.
Good job, man. I mean, it was great. Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
So what do you have any more future plans for any more future sci-fi films like this?
Yeah. We're working on a couple of partners of mine, Ben and Dean Jagger. People might know Dean Jagger for his role on Game of Thrones or for his role on Warrior.
Yes.
And Ben Jagger is the writer and director of Corbin Nash on Netflix. And partnered on those guys with we already have one script that is complete that we're trying to secure financing for, and we're working on another TV series pitch right now that is heavy sci-fi.
Nice.
Probably the heaviest sci-fi I've ever written. And it's really cool and it's really different. I've never seen anything like it, and we're really excited about it. So I hope that's the next thing.
Wow. Well, the movie that you did right now is called Case 347. Where can we find this, and where can our people here that are listening download it at?
Case right now, as of today, is on iTunes, Fandango, FlixFling, Vimeo On Demand, and Google Play. And I believe it will soon be on Amazon, whatever Amazon's instant download digital platform is. I don't know if it's Amazon Now or Amazon Play or whatever that is, and also on Vudu. But that was supposed to be earlier in the week, and I guess they're having a little bit of technical issues. But so as of right now, it's iTunes, FlixFling, Fandango, Google Play, and Vimeo On Demand.
Nice. Yeah, that's a lot of platforms. Pretty good amount of platforms there. I mean, of course, you always want more. More platforms out there, the better it is.
Absolutely, all of them. All of them.
Yeah, so I want to thank you for, like I said, introducing me to the film, letting me see it before it came out. Of course, it came out on the 3rd of this month, March 3rd it came out. So if anybody's out there want to watch it, check it out. It's called Case 347. It's with Chris Wax. He's a director producer of the movie, and of course I'm sure he had a lot of help with a lot of people out there. I don't have the time to mention, but if you can, anybody, check out this film. It's a great movie. I really enjoyed it, especially if you're into sci-fi, Alien, the whole works. So he did a great job on it. Chris, I want to thank you for just being on the show and just giving us a lot of insight on the film and everything that you're doing out there. We really do appreciate you. I do appreciate you, and I really do appreciate you letting me see the film first. And you know what? Good luck to you on the future and on the new films that you're going to put out. If you have any new ones that come out, send them my way. We're going to throw them out to our listeners so everybody can check out your film.
Certainly will. And Don, thank you so much. And one of the first things you said was, that you're a diehard sci-fi fan, whether it's the big movies or the small ones. And I think that's so important. And it's really, it's really a great attribute to who you are to celebrate a film that's as small as this. Because on the Hollywood perspective of things, this is a micro budget film.
Right,
so if we pulled off just a slightly entertaining movie with what we had to work with, and I think it's a success, and I think we did. So I really appreciate you. Thank you.
Yes, sir. No, thank you. Like I said, it's not just the big guys are up there. They're making the big, just because they're making the big bucks, they make good films, but the smaller ones make really good films as well. And like I said, I've seen a lot, and you've put it out there, and you're doing the same thing. So I appreciate you, and I appreciate everything you're doing. Keep up the good work. And next film you come up, like I said, just give me a call, and we'll throw it out there. As a matter of fact, we're already hitting 10K listeners, downloads already for Alien Strand. So
amazing.
So we're just
amazing. Well, definitely keep in touch and make sure you connect with me. I mean, obviously, you and I have texted a little bit before this interview, but definitely keep in touch and connect on social media and all that jazz. And let's keep this going, right?
Yes, sir. I'm going to keep on putting it out there. I'm going to throw some more flies out for you, and we're going to get people going their way so they can watch the film. Yes, sir. Not a problem. So
thank you so much, Don, and thanks to everybody who's been listening.
Yes, sir. Like you have yourself a good evening, and don't drink too much of that coffee because it's going to keep you awake all night long.
You do the same. All right, Don. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right, brother. Have a good one.
All
Bye-bye.
right, you too, man. Bye.
All right. Well, there you have it. Yeah, Mr. Chris Wax. Great guy. Done an excellent job on that film. If you have a chance, like I said, watch it. It's called Case 347. It's got really good actors in it, like he talked about. Chris has done amazing, a couple of small films as well. And he's getting out there. So let's give him a shout out and help him out and help get out there and because what he's doing is not just for entertainment, but he's bringing out stories that we talk about, that I talk about on a daily basis, especially like abductions and things that happen every day. Things that people don't know, but he put it in a different perspective as far as entertainment. But still, the story's out there, and he's based upon. He did his research before the movie came out, which is great, and I'm glad he did that. And he talked to really people that are out there and that are, in the ufology and the UFO community. They're up there, and he talked to the big people. And that's where to go, and that's what he's doing, and he's doing a great job, and thank you, Chris, for that. So as for today, I just want to thank everybody for listening to the show, and give Chris and his movie, and download it, check it out, share it with your friends. If you're into sci-fi and aliens and Area 51, check that film out. I think you'd enjoy it. Check it out. I did. I really enjoyed it. Get some popcorn out. Get yourself a soda pop or a beer, whatever, and check out the film. You can watch it from now we have these big old TVs. You can watch it at home. So, I really appreciate it, like I said. But until then, we went live today, and I hope there were some people out there listening live. So, as for now, you guys have yourselves a good day. A good evening. And a good night.
Hi, I'm John McGavick, and you're listening to the Alien Strand podcast with Donald Ledesma. Catch my channel, Mars Discoveries 123 on YouTube. Hit me a like and subscribe. I'll see you there.
Wake up at Holiday Inn Express to a can't-miss breakfast that's free with every stay. Count on all the hot, fresh coffee you need and an incredible breakfast buffet that has something for everyone, like eggs, cinnamon rolls, and even hot, fresh pancakes with all the toppings you crave. Next time, do yourself a favor and stay at a Holiday Inn Express with a can't-miss breakfast that's free with every stay. So, when you wake up at Holiday Inn Express, you'll wake up happy, a part of IHG Hotels and Resorts.